A flight from New York to London should look like a straight line across the Atlantic, but on a real flight map, it bends north, sometimes toward Greenland, before curving back down. That looks wrong until you realize the map is lying, and even that is only the first reason planes do not fly straight. To see what is really happening, forget the flat map for a moment and pick up a globe. Stretch a string from New York to London, pull it tight, and the line does not wander for decoration. It follows a great circle, the largest possible circle you can draw around a sphere. On a round Earth, that is the shortest surface path between distant points. Now place that same path onto a common flat world map. The globe has to be stretched, sliced, and distorted to fit a rectangle, so the great circle no longer looks straight. It may bend sharply north, even though the aircraft is following the efficient route across a curved planet. This is why flight paths near the Arctic can look especially strange. Flat maps exaggerate northern regions, so a normal shortcut over the top of the globe appears like a dramatic detour. But map distortion is only the first trick. Real flight plans still have reasons to avoid the pure shortest line. A pilot may fly extra miles and still arrive earlier. That happens because the shortest path on the globe is not moving through empty space. It is moving through weather. A direct route can run straight into powerful headwinds, storms, turbulence, or crowded airspace. Another route may look longer on a map, but if it catches better winds and avoids delays, it can save time and fuel. Airlines are constantly balancing four things: distance, flight time, fuel burn, and reliability. Passenger comfort matters too, because a route through rough air can force the crew to slow down, change altitude, or keep the seatbelt sign on for hours. Before takeoff, airline dispatchers build the plan using weather forecasts, wind models, aircraft performance data, fuel rules, airport conditions, and company priorities. They are not searching for the prettiest line. They are searching for the route most likely to arrive safely, efficiently, and on schedule, because the sky itself is moving. High above the cruising altitude of many storms, the atmosphere forms fast-moving rivers of air called jet streams. They can blow faster than 200 kilometers per hour, and they do not sit still. They bend, split, strengthen, and slide across continents from day to day. For an aircraft, that wind can act like a moving walkway. Flying east across the Atlantic, a plane may climb into a powerful tailwind and gain speed over the ground without burning extra fuel. On the return trip west, the same wind becomes a headwind, so the aircraft may fly farther north or south to find a weaker flow. This is why flights between similar cities can use different tracks in each direction. Animated wind maps make it obvious. The best route is often the one that rides the blue-green ribbon of helpful wind, or steps around the red core of punishing air. But wind is only one moving layer. Storms and turbulence can still rewrite the route. A thunderstorm is not just a cloud with rain inside. It can contain violent updrafts, hail, lightning, and wind shear strong enough to make a straight shortcut a bad decision. That is why pilots and dispatchers often draw routes around entire storm systems, even if the detour adds time. The same can happen with turbulence. Clear air can look harmless from the ground and still be rough at cruising altitude, especially near jet streams or mountain waves. Forecasts update constantly, so a route that looked smooth during planning may shift before departure, or even while the aircraft is already airborne. Other hazards can be even less visible. Moist layers can create icing zones during climb or descent. Volcanic ash can drift hundreds of kilometers from an eruption and damage jet engines. Extreme high-altitude winds can make one airway inefficient or unsafe for that aircraft on that day. So weather does not just delay flights, it reshapes them. But even on a perfectly calm day, planes still cannot fly anywhere they want. Airspace is divided into sectors, corridors, and procedures that aircraft are expected to follow. Instead of choosing a freehand line across the map, flight planners build routes from named waypoints, published airways, and altitude rules, like drivers using interstates, exits, and lanes. Those waypoints can be physical radio beacons, satellite navigation fixes, or invisible coordinates with with names pilots and controllers both recognize. A flight plan might step from one fix to the next for hundreds of miles because each segment fits into a system that keeps traffic predictable. Over oceans, where radar coverage is limited, aircraft may follow organized tracks that shift each day with winds and demand. Near land, the structure becomes even tighter. Departures guide jets away from runways. Arrivals funnel them toward airports in ordered streams. This is why a route can look oddly bent even in perfect weather. The aircraft is not wandering. It is moving through a managed road network in the sky, and that network becomes most obvious near busy airports. Some bends on a flight map have nothing to do with navigation or weather. They exist because the sky is political. Every country controls the airspace above its territory. It can allow foreign airlines through, restrict certain routes, charge overflight fees, or close the door entirely. For airlines, crossing a border in the sky requires permission, not just fuel and a good flight plan. That is why flights may curve around military zones, active conflict areas, missile testing regions, or politically sensitive borders. Even if a path is shorter, it may carry risks that airlines and regulators will not accept. Temporary closures can also appear during instability, major summits, military exercises, or security emergencies. Economics matters too. A longer route may still be cheaper or simpler if it avoids high fees, uncertain permissions, extra insurance concerns, or operational delays. These rules are not fixed forever. Airspace access changes with diplomacy, security conditions, and government decisions, so airlines constantly update routes to match the safest and most practical path available. Over oceans, another layer of planning appears: diversion rules for twin-engine jets. The core idea is simple. A twin-engine aircraft must be certified, maintained, and dispatched so it can reach a suitable airport within an approved time if something serious happens far from land. That system is called Extended Range Twin-Engine Operational Performance Standards, often shortened in aviation, but the meaning matters more than the name. It does not assume an engine will fail. It asks what the crew can safely do if one does, or if there is smoke, a medical emergency, a pressurization problem, or another issue that makes landing sooner necessary. So a route across the Atlantic or Pacific is not just drawn between two cities. Dispatchers check which diversion airports are available, long enough, equipped enough, and usable in the forecast weather. If an island airport has storms, poor visibility, or strong crosswinds, the planned track may shift toward another option. That invisible network of backup airports can bend a flight path long before passengers board. Every strange route is a stack of decisions: geometry, wind, weather, control, safety, politics, and cost. Thanks for watching. Look up a flight path, spot the hidden forces, and comment what surprised you.